Good morning. It's been about 8 hours since I last checked on these guys, and it doesn't look like the beans soaked up that much more water. I don't know if you can see that, but there's still a little bit of a layer of water on top. The water is quite a bit darker. So I'm gonna just keep letting them soak until I'm ready to eat them, and hopefully at this point they are ready to, be pulled out. The rice, on the other hand, let me see if I can do this with one hand. Okay. It does look quite a bit better, but it's still pretty hard. I don't think you can soak rice. I don't think that's a thing. I wanted to try it, but I'll probably end up just having to warm it up and, make it bigger that way, because I think heat usually is involved. Lucky for me, I normally have oatmeal as one of my breakfast options, so I'm pretty familiar with how to make it. I'm just gonna dump the oatmeal in here, and then I'm gonna add some water. That's probably good. And then I'll just stick it in the microwave for about a minute. This is what my oatmeal looks like. I cooked it for about another 30 seconds and added some more water. I cut up my banana, so I'm just gonna stick that right in here. There you go. And I'm gonna crush up some saltines and just sprinkle that on top. I did only cut up half my banana. I'll probably be using the other half for maybe a snack or something like that, maybe dessert tonight. So this is the final product of my oatmeal. And let's dive in. All right, so here I'm going to be making lunch. I'm gonna fill up this bowl with water, probably a little bit over halfway, and stick this in the microwave. I wanna get this water as hot as possible so that the noodles are able to cook well. So I'm probably gonna put it in for about 2 minutes. Water is done cooking. I may have to re-warm it back up, but I'm just gonna plop in my noodle pack and let that sit. That's gonna have to be flipped at some point because the water does not go up all the way. But here is my cream of celery. I opened it. Doesn't look super appetizing, but that's okay. We're just gonna roll with it and see what happens. I'll update you when this is done cooking. My noodles have finished cooking, and this is how they look. I'm going to now add the cream of celery and try to do it with one hand. I guess we're just gonna plop that on there. I don't know how much, probably that much. Still have that much left. And then I'm gonna mix it around a little bit and stick it back in the microwave to warm it all up, and I might add a little more, we'll see. All right, so this is all warmed up now. This is what it looks like. I have tried it. It tastes quite a bit like cream of celery, as expected. I don't know why I actually got cream of celery. I'm not a big fan of celery, but this tastes fine. So I'm probably gonna put some crushed up crackers on it because I've been doing that with everything. It adds a little bit of texture. And this was my lunch. So really quickly, I finished my lunch, but I'm worried that I'm gonna get hungry before I'm able to come back to my room. So I just pulled out the other half of my banana and some of the peanut butter. I'm gonna crack this open, and I'm just gonna cut this up and put some peanut butter on each slice just to keep me full. Okay, so I'm about to have dinner, and I have all of my beans. I think they're fully developed. And then my rice, on the other hand, is not. It's looking a little better than it was initially, but I don't think it's ready, so I'm gonna heat this up in the microwave. I have put the rice in for about 2 minutes. It's pretty warm right now. You can't see the steam, but I assure you there is some. I'm letting it sit. I did a finger test and it was extremely warm, so I'm just gonna see if the rice grows at all from it just sitting in the hot water. Both the rice and the beans have been put in for 2 minutes, and they're now sitting in really hot water. I taste tested a bean and they are very undercooked. I don't think soaking them did a whole lot. Okay, so I have tried to warm up both the rice and the beans in increments of a minute. And I don't know if you can tell, but the rice has not gotten any bigger. It's not doing too hot, so literally, haha. And so I'm just gonna let it sit in the hot water. I'll try to figure out what to do with it tomorrow. A little upset at this point. The beans aren't doing too much better. They're better because they were soaking and they were able to soak, but I don't know if you can hear that. They're still very hard, and they still are very undercooked. And I don't have means to cook them aside from the microwave, so I'm gonna also let those sit. Maybe I'll reapproach it tonight, maybe I'll reapproach it tomorrow, but these little friends are gonna sit here, and I'm just gonna take the L for tonight. So today marks the end of day 1, and overall I'm feeling pretty good about today. I don't feel hungry, I feel pretty well fed, and honestly the only bad part was I got a little discouraged by the rice and beans. But on the other hand, it did add that sort of factor of understanding that I was working with limited resources. I don't have everything that I could potentially need in order to sustain myself. And so I have to get a little bit craftier. I have to keep coming up with new ways to formulate and decide how I'm going to make my food for each day. So I found that really interesting. In addition, you know, coming back from classes, things like that, I found myself being drawn towards where I normally eat on campus and being like, oh, you know, walking back from this class, I'm hungry, I'll just stop by Jamba Juice and get a smoothie, but realizing pretty quickly that I couldn't do that, and instead I had to come back to my dorm so that I could prepare some food. So that was definitely an interesting learning experience for me, and I had to really get the grasp of working with what I had and being on limited resources. I found myself thinking about what it would be like to have more money to spend on different things, so that maybe, you know, maybe if I had that extra $2, I could have got frozen fruit and had smoothies 2 days of the week. So it's kind of like a balancing act of, you know, what you can afford to get and what you can't, and what you end up doing with it. In the same way that with the rice and beans, sometimes things just don't work out the way you plan, and you just kind of have to roll with the punches. So it's definitely been a really interesting learning experience, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I'm looking forward to seeing what the rest of the week has in store for me, and what kind of crafty ways I can find to, you know, use what I have. I've already come up with a few things that I'm going to be using differently and coming up with a few new ways to make food. So I'm excited, and I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow.